I'm only showing you a few from the wonderful collection of Hanabukas representing the stylish flapper era of the 1920s, celebrities, flappers, mystery dolls. During this time period, many things grew out of just the half dolls: powder boxes, trinket boxes, ladies sitting on chairs that when you lifted the lady's head basically formed the handle, and when you lifted that, underneath her chair became a little box for powder or for trinkets or jewelry. So many more novelties. That's why we entitled this catalog Lady Fancies, not just the half dolls, but all sorts of things. But now I'm showing you a few of the half dolls kind of themes from that 1920s, early 1930s period. And on the right-hand side, we have what I'm just calling the stylish ladies. And any of you who study fashion from that time period will recognize how really pretty accurate this costuming is. I'm going to turn them around. You can see them from the back side as well. And notice the little details of how they have. One is holding a clutch, which matches her cap. One of them has her hand. Not only the costumes are accurate, but the entire posing changes. It's no longer demure or aristocratic, but it's flirtatious and languid and much more of a casual kind of presentation. So there, she has a wonderful expression, kind of a sassy who me expression. This woman is, don't mess with me, I'm stylish, I'm going to tea, but I probably won't have tea, I'll have a cocktail, and has her matching cap and purse. And this one has, and aside from that wonderful posing of her arm, has her matching cloche cap and her sleeveless dress, which is wonderful. And come down here, I love this one. And now this doll, okay, here's where we get into, again, the mystery. Does a doll represent a particular person, or does it represent a theme? This is clearly, I mean, you look at this and you think 1920s cocktail bars in Manhattan, or you think of theatrical tap dancing. There's so many things that come to your mind when you're looking at this, but very stylized. And then we have 4 girls, which represent just changing times, popular culture. We have one lady with her beautiful gray hat. She's holding a lipstick. We have another lady with another bonnet. She has a ring on her finger, by the way, and earrings, and she's holding her hand mirror. Show you the top of her bonnet. And then we have a girl with a different style hat, again a cloche hat, but very high, brimmed up at the side with a little feather, all these little stylistic differences. And she's powdering her nose. These aristocratic ladies of the 18th century that we saw a minute ago, they weren't doing this in public, let me tell you. They were not looking in a mirror, they were not powdering their nose, putting on lipstick. And they were not appearing in this gorgeous 1920 style lingerie like this beautiful lady with her arms extended, her head turned to the side. Wonderful detail. She matches my sweater, I like that. It's a beautiful. And they captured it exactly right. I mean, that's how that would fall. It would fall low on your bosom like that. It was just a great piece. Now, moving over here to 3 of my favorites from this auction, because they are bizarre and wild and I love them, and I have no idea who they represent or what they represent because they are so different. We'll start with the feather lady at the back. She clearly is a theatrical piece. Let me move her a little to the front. She clearly is based upon a theatrical character, whether it's in the New York theater, in the Paris theater, or whether it was early film. We don't know. Turn her around so you could see her at the back. Her pose like this, her wonderful jewelry all over, her little harness, her extravagantly feathered cap, and then her hand posed with the hole in the palm between the thumb and the fingers so she could hold a feather. Well, look at this one. What or who could she be? You know, this isn't just imagination. There's too many details here, including the crown with the diamond points around her head, the very distinctive red hair, the fur cape, the bracelets, the bare bosom, but then the cape at the back, the blue cape with the little gilt star design. Goes all the way down the back. If anybody can tell me who she is, I would be so grateful. And notice again when she comes around, her hand is clenched also with the little hole designed to be holding something. You know, she sort of looks like a stylized theatrical Lady Liberty from Statue of Liberty. I don't know, that's just my imagination going wild. And this girl, what is this all about? I want to know. Look at her animal wrapped around her shoulders with the little animal head coming there. Look at the fabulous turban, very full turban with gold earrings, the design at the top, the feather design at the top. Let me turn it around so you can see it from the back. When you see that animal fur at the back, it almost looks like her hair, but it's not. It is the animal fur. Now this has to be absolutely based on some particular fashion, a fashion show, a person, a theater presentation. I don't know, and I beg for your help in finding these things out. Now, if you think half dolls were just half dolls, as I've been pointing out, they were much more than that. They were not just made into pin cushions, they were made as tea cozies, they were made as lamps, they were made as lamp covers, they were made as trinket boxes for the ladies' dressing table, powder puffs, so many things. And I'm showing you here a selection of some wonderful pieces from the Hannah Butkus collection, which are so rare and so extraordinary to find. Up on top, one of my favorites, a line of pieces were made in Paris using German half dolls, but with gilded metal framework on them. And in this case, this lady's skirt, hidden under it, is a lamp. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece with the coronet of flowers, the flower in her hand, and then this wonderful gilded lamp. I'll just turn it slightly sideways so you can see. The draping of the sash around her waist. This metalwork is just extraordinary with the garlands of flowers. It's just beautiful. They also, if you don't mind moving the camera way to the other side, they did a series of trinket boxes as well. In this case, it's the flapper era lady once again. She is applying lipstick and she's holding her little purse or her mirror, I can't tell which it is, and her half doll waist ends here, is attached to this metal frame, which is then attached to the porcelain trinket box, and her head and waist form the handle to lift the lid of the trinket box with the French markings on the inside of the frame. Another example of them is right here in the front. It's a beautiful, rare model of a half doll with the gilded helmet on the top and the very elegantly posed fingers. And once again, she has the metal harness attached to her body, fitted to it perfectly, and then she is attached to the lid, which, when you lift her, forms the lid of the trinket box. Very elegant, and if you felt this, I mean, this is heavy. This is wonderful workmanship. It's absolutely beautiful. Well, you didn't have to do gilt ormolu only. You could have shells, and this is a very famous dancer posed with her shell skirt. I want to see if I can show you the underframe, the original underframe that was designed, if you wonder what these are like. Okay? And composed of dozens and dozens of beautiful mother-of-pearl iridescent shells, including the garland of shells that she holds in her hand that extends down the front, and another little sash at the side. A beautiful half doll with great subtle painting of the features. Let me turn her around so you can see her hair at the back. It's wonderful. Okay, and there are several of these double-figured pieces of Perrault and Perrette, and they are forming. She is resting on his shoulders, and notice details like she has little green pants, one yellow leg, one pink leg. She has her heels. He has, at the back, a bouquet of roses. I mean, the details on these pieces just don't end. And her skirt is a powder puff, and it rests on the powder puff tray, which he's balancing on his head. How imaginative. And I wanted to show you in the front. At the very beginning of the talk, we talked about how the same model could be used to, and you'd see slight variations because the artist who put it together might do something a little bit different. They might pose the arm separately, or pose the fingers, or just have a slightly different tilt of the head. Here's 3 variations of basically the same model. We have, on this side, the porcelain version. All porcelain with the painted on costume, painted jewelry, and even her little foot, which is lifted up at the back. Those are porcelain shoes, and it's lifted up so that like her, when your shoe is sort of falling off, little details like that are just so wonderful. The next one is porcelain, but she is a wigged version, just a solid painted dome, and having a wig, nude, and with this original wonderful metallic costume and gold bracelets. And the third, same model, all bisque, with painted hair, with a gold headband, barefoot. Her hands posed slightly differently because it is posed above her head with her fingers curled and with her original costume. A wonderful, wonderful piece. Just a good study, a very interesting study in how a same model could be used by the manufacturer to different variations. And I put this in because I think this is one of the favorites of Mr. Umer Butkus, husband of Hannah, who has supported her in all of her collecting and so enthusiastically and loves the pieces probably as well as she. And he said to me, could we have this on the cover? And I didn't put it on the cover, so now I want to feature it in this video in homage to him. This is a wonderful piece. You look at it at first and you think it's just a figurine and very stylized. And I mean, it's just wonderful. This very fashionable lady and her skirt's blowing up and she's got the fur wrapped around her and the cloche cap, and she's got a great expression on her face. All right, gloved arms, and watch. Her hat box, it's a trinket box. That's great. That is just great. So serving double purpose, and the manufacturers who had learned how to do the half dolls expanded them into such a litany of different products that you could collect forever and never have everything, and there's so many wonderful variations. This is, for me, it's been a great privilege working on these, and I hope you all enjoy watching the video and enjoy getting the catalog and browsing through the catalog. And please come to the auction, because seeing them in person, nothing can ever replace that.